Okay. Thank you. We live. I don't even know if y'all can hear me. I don't know. Sunday fun day.
Said I'm missing you, baby. I'm missing, missing. Whoa, bring it home. Ooh, this is motivation 101 for your soul. Oh, for your soul. Bring it home, bring it home. 'Cause even though we're miles apart, you're never alone. Baby girl, I'm filled with joy, 'cause I'm coming home. And this must be the place where you're feeling isolated. Whoa, and you're on your own. I can't stand it, being away from you, baby girl. No, it's kinda complicated. No, no. You see I'm working on all day, but because of just like a glove. There's a light shining on you, and it feeds my soul. But I'll be walking through that front door soon. I'ma lose control. Bring it home. This is motivation 101 for your soul. Open up. Bring it home. 'Cause even though we're miles apart, you're never alone. Listen, I wanna try it in every position. All that sweet loving you're constantly giving. All of the spots that make you mention. And I'ma definitely put you up on it. About the moment I see you, I need it. I'm waiting. I'm at work anticipating. I'm home. I'ma get you right into your zone. I'ma get you right into your zone.
For real. Here's the problem with the Gypsy Sisters.
Are we live? Yo! Hey guys! My name is Ari Gonzalez. I'm the owner of Daring to Five Management and Consulting. And today we are back for episode 31 of the Running Back podcast, which is a podcast all about our tumultuous industry. I do it week by week, and we just talk about a whole bunch of shit. We have a lot to get through today, but we're going to keep it concise. We're going to move through everything pretty quickly. And as per usual, we are going to start with some new music. So we have a good amount of people from just all over the place, some folks in Orlando, some folks that I don't even know where they're at. But we are going to just get right into it. I'm not going to mince my words. I hope that your guys' Sunday has been going swimmingly and you've been able to take some care of yourself, some time away from just the busyness and the craziness of life. So with that being said, we're just going to get straight into it. Boom! So starting off with the music reviews, we have a song called Get to Know You from, I believe it's Masa HY featuring So Smooth. And as per usual, the Instagrams and the links for all of this will be in the description. Once the live has kind of concluded, I'm able to go back and go put those things in the descriptions. With this song, I think it's actually really cool because this was released under a producer who pretty much his entire catalog is, collaborations with artists that he's branded them very specifically, and it seems like is doing, a series, and that is how he's going to be uploading his music. And the feature So Smooth is the artist, the vocalist on this track. This is an Afrobeat song. It has a great chorus, very catchy, and it's great for sync. Like, I immediately was thinking about just reality TV and could easily hear this be placed in that realm for sure. It's a longer song. I believe it's a little bit over 5 minutes, and it gets a bit repetitive because of that. That is kind of common when we get into those 5-minute songs that are just repeating the chorus. So it gets a little bit repetitive, but overall, like, technically it's constructed very, very well from the top to the bottom, from the mixing to the songwriting to the melodies that are used. Everything was done very well with this song. My main thing is that I would have just shortened it just a little bit, taken one of the choruses out, just so that we remain engaged throughout the whole thing. But overall, great song. If you are looking to find this song, this is where you will be brought on Spotify. This is what it will look like once it loads in just a second. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what I was talking about with the way that he's formatting his releases. So this is Masa HY, doing well with numbers. Y'all see he's, definitely breaking some good numbers in the tens of thousands range, almost up to 100,000. But if you see here how he's formatting his releases and really focusing in putting an emphasis on these artists. And you can see, like I said, just branded very well. He has a very specific way that he's going about it. And I think this is a great idea, and I encourage more producers to do stuff like this. I think this is super cool. But like I said, all of the links for the news stories, for the music, all of that stuff is going to be in the description with this document you guys will have access to. So, yeah, moving forward. We have a song called Wont Be One from Sophia Jelani. And Sophia has submitted quite a few times to the podcast. I love this girl. I'm pretty sure she's like either in high school or just got out of high school, but seems young and just super creative and fun. And she has been submitting her music videos for a minute. And this one is a little bit different. It's way more dancey than a lot of the other stuff that I've heard from Sophia. What I have heard from her has been like very cinematic stuff, which I like. So hearing this change with something that was more dance poppy, but still had like a mid-tempo range, was super cool. And I was just excited to hear some versatility from her. There are certain tones that I believe could have been corrected in the tracking process, and it's a personal opinion thing, but just certain, like I said, tonally, like in terms of cadence and things, I feel like there could have been a little bit more focus on that and creating as well polished of a vocal that there could have been, but it also could have been a creative choice to not do that. I love the thought that goes into every single video that this girl puts out. I mean, you can just tell she takes time. Her friends, she has a great support system because they're always involved, and it's just super cool to see. And I wanted to hone in on that because if anything, like, she just puts a lot of thought and effort into all of these videos, which I love so much. The production, instrument wise, is a little repetitive. It's simple, it's loopy is the best way to put it. And there was so many opportunities, like with where you were going vocally, for there to be like a really cool electronic breakdown or just some type of release of tension in that kind of sense. And I was just a little disappointed that we couldn't get there because of that production. So I don't know if, that was something that you worked directly with a producer on, or if you found that on somebody's beat store or something like that. But it could have just been a little bit more creative. Finally, the mix could have been a little bit better. The thing with Sophia is, like, technically there's work to be done. There's work to be done when it comes to production, when it comes to mixes, and certain tweaking when it comes to songwriting and melody and things like that. But overall, like, the passion, you feel Sophia when she sings, and that's the most important thing, because all the mixing, the production, that we can get better at that. We can get better personnel. We can invest more money. We can make all of that better. But the basis of who she is as an artist, she's a true artist. She loves this. You can feel that when you're listening to her music. The message is there. The connection is there. The effort is there. And that is one of the most important things, absolutely. So another great submission from Sophia. If you want to check out the song or the YouTube video, the music video rather, this is what you're going to be looking for. I know they're going to switch it in just a moment. Not this. Maybe we'll play through this commercial real quick so y'all can. We gotta fix the. Morgan and Morgan. Damn, y'all. The ads are killing me. That looks really good. I haven't eaten anything today. Anyways, this is what you're looking for if you're looking for Sophia's music video. You can see, like, just super creative and super fun. And I loved the, like, feeling of nostalgia and just curiosity and just fun that went into this. And I think it's super cool, super indie. I love it. But yeah, if you're looking for it, that's what you will find. And as we move on to the next song, we have a song called Cafecito from Daniel Falquez, I believe is how it's pronounced. And this is a Latin jazz song. Super, super groovy, super ambient, like walk into a coffee shop on a good day and like in Spain and like you're just like living your life. Like that is what this song gives. It's great. It's an instrumental. There's no lyrics. There's no vocals on this song. And it's great for sync. Like I could hear this placed in stuff for travel, nightlife. I could even see this in animation. And really a lot of cool possibilities with it because it is like that ambient kind of music. There's a switch at the end, like a little beat switch at the end that helps keep us engaged. It was super surprising, but overall it's a pretty short song. The simplicity of the video that you coupled with it, a lot of it is just B-roll, honestly. And I think it's really cool because it played into the feeling of it being a soundtrack to life is how that this song feels. Like I said, you're walking into a coffee shop, you're walking in your city, just enjoying yourself. The sky is beautiful. You have your little cafecito by you. Like, that is the energy that this song gives, and the use of the B-roll and the B-roll that you chose really played into that visually. And it's also really cool because this is a video that could be like projected in any establishment just as like background noise, but also, you know, visually people have something to look at. And I think that was smart. I don't know if that was your intention with it, but I think it opens up that possibility. I also like the touch of ambient noise at the end that I think was derived from that B-roll. Once again, it just hones in on that feeling of just like easy living, this is life, and just like I said, that soundtrack to life kind of aspect that it has, which I love. And really quickly, we'll go over here if you guys are looking for this song to check it out. This is what you'll be finding on YouTube. And go check out his stuff. I know that he has more things like this. And I just think this is so cute and so cool. And you guys will be able to hear it if you so choose, which you absolutely should. Go check it out. Next, we have a song called, it's actually a remake, an a cappella remake of Sarah Smiles from Sim Streeter. Sim Streeter he has the first song on the Run It Back playlist. This man's voice is phenomenal. He's an older gentleman that just is like, it gives grown and sexy, it gives sultry, it gives church, like just gritty, beautiful. And it was really cool for him, or really cool for me to see him do this style of thing where, like I said, it's an a cappella remake where he's doing all of the parts. He really took it to the next level in terms of editing all of his parts himself, like in a room on a couch doing this together. Very doo-wop, very cute. There's not much to say about it. Like, you should go watch it. It's very cool. But like I said, there's not much to say about it. His voice is stunning. He has an amazing range. It's technically done well in terms of timing, tone, everything. It's great. He did a good job. Like I said, there's not much to say about it. But go check it out if that is something that you are interested in. Really quick, I'm going to show you guys what you're looking for if you're looking for it on YouTube. Right now, I'm looking at Walmart American Girl commercial. Very nice. It's a long commercial. I've been like getting beat over the head with commercials lately. But as you can see, he edited himself in all of these positions. Look at that. The slow upturn of the face. And man, like I said, it gives grown and sexy. It gives gritty. Like, the vocals are there. Like, he really is phenomenal. Go check this out. This was released a while ago. But go show it some love. All that good stuff. And we're gonna move on. The next song that we're going to talk about is called Victim by Loki Lifted featuring MTK. This is a hip-hop R&B inspired song, very tropical. It was definitely giving Florida. It has a catchy hook. My main thing with it is that the mix could be better. It's a very crunchy mix, and that could be a stylistic choice, but my thing, I think it could be better. But yeah, overall, this is a fun song. It's a groove song. Definitely something that you could hear like on the highway, riding in your car with. Just very chill vibe, very, very relaxing, without being like dead. Like, there's still energy in it, but it's just a very mellow kind of gig. Next up, we have some an Orlando local artist who actually, I was over with TMC at their headquarters for Phenomenal Fridays. We're going to be talking about Phenom and his song Fuego. If you don't know who Phenom is, he's a great guy here in Orlando, extremely talented, and he submitted this week with his song Fuego, featuring Matic, Artiste, and Boogs. This is a hip-hop song that has some Latin inspiration with it in terms of just the sound samples. It's catchy. It's a catchy song, but it is repetitive, which is my main qualm with it. But the feature at 140 helps break that up and bring us some new interest, keep us engaged, and it segues beautifully into the breakdown. That's my favorite part of the song, is that feature into the breakdown. If this was my song, or if I was a part of the creation, I would have taken, in the beginning, I would have shaved like 30 seconds off of it, just so that we get there faster. Because like I said, in my opinion, it's the best part of the song. It keeps us going. It keeps us engaged. I love it. Yeah, if you've been watching this for a while, that's the main thing that I'm looking for, is there a reason why I want to tune out? And if there's not, you've done your job as a musician. Last thing to say about this is, yeah, I would just take one of the choruses in the beginning away to get us to the engaging aspect sooner. Overall, very well done song. Technically, in terms of like the mixing, the production, it's all there, but there's always a way to make it better. Yeah, moving on, we have a song called, or before we do that, let me show you guys what you're looking for the link with Victim. It's a United Masters hyperlink. So whether you have YouTube, or if you have Apple Music, you'll be able to get to it very easily. And then we have Phenom with Fuego. This is what you are looking for. Great cover art as well. But okay, moving forward. We have a song called Call Me Please by, I believe it's pronounced Jom, featuring Ready Aim Fire 27. This is an indie pop song that also is like heavily infused with drum and bass when it comes to, the drums on this. It's very reminiscent of anime, which I think is cute and cool. Very clear voice, very creative melodies. There's a catchy hook. My biggest thing with it is that the vocals could have been a little bit more full, whether that was done in the mixing process or with stacking, whatever the decision would be. I think it just could have been a little bit fuller. But sonically, very cool, very well put together. And I just really like the sound. I like what you created with creating that like bedroom pop drum and bass, but also I feel like I'm watching an anime. Like I really appreciate that. I feel like it's different. And I think that there is a market for it. I think that there's definitely a place for this. Definitely, if you're not marketing on TikTok, I would start doing that. And I just think that this is really cool. This is what you're looking for on YouTube. And yeah, bada boom, bada bing. Let's move forward. The last song that we're going to be talking about is called Parachute by Zim. This is a dark R&B song, very reminiscent of The Weeknd. That is definitely the vibes that it's giving. The mix is nice, it's balanced, it's clear, I can hear everything. You have a catchy hook, but I think that you could have gotten just a little bit more creative with your melodies. Just get creative, let free, and experiment. I think that's the biggest thing. I felt a little bit complacent listening to the song, and I shouldn't. I feel like there's just room for you to get more creative and have more fun with it. That's my biggest thing. But technically, it's constructed very well. How we've talked about, just like the mix is there, the songwriting is good. There's just always the extra step that we could go, and that is more really what I encourage in this segment of the podcast. There's a guitar solo in this song that is phenomenal, and I wish that it was incorporated more, that the guitar was incorporated more in the production, because I feel like it, like when we talk about taking things to the next level, getting creative, experimental, having fun, engaging, that guitar, like, I feel like it just would have pushed things off the edge. But overall, it was done very well, and I'm just going to reiterate, if you want to listen to any of this music, just after the stream, everything will be in the description. And if you are looking for this song on Spotify, this is what you're going to be looking at. He's doing great in terms of streaming. He's broken 50,000 plays, so go continue to support him. And yeah, I mean, I love this cover art as well. Once we get over to it, y'all see what I'm talking about. Y'all see? It's giving. Cute. So now we are coming to the conclusion of that section. We're going to get into the wordy stuff and talk more about the industry, really the basis of this podcast. And we're going to get through it as quickly as possible. We have some really cool updates, though, starting with Spotify Wrapped Sound Check. And what this is it is a program that lets artists upload videos thanking their biggest fans for a great year on Spotify. They can also list their latest merch and ensure tickets for their upcoming shows that are available on the platform. All of this will be offered to your top fans at the end of the year for their Wrapped experience. The way that you do this is you log into your Spotify for Artists account, and then there will be a button that says create a video for 2022 Wrapped. And then you're going to upload a video that is either 30 seconds or less from your desktop or your camera roll. And put a caption under. It has to be under 100 characters. You're going to pick a thumbnail on there, agree to the terms and conditions, move forward. There you go. If you want to list your merch, if you want to do the tickets and things like that, just read a little bit closer into it. The thing that I love about Spotify for Artists, they make everything very user-friendly, very straightforward. So if you just go forth and actually get inside of there, do the work, then you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. I think this is super cool. It's a great way to continue building the relationship that you have with your fans, which is everything. That's the whole reason why, musicians thrive, is because of the people that listen to them. So being able to give back in just any capacity and strengthen that relationship is awesome. And the fact that we can do it in such an accessible way, I think is really amazing as well. So stay tuned on that. Go into your Spotify for Artists. If you are an independent artist or if you're a musician, go record that video, upload it. If you want to add the features that have to do with merchandise and ticket sales, go ahead and do that, but just wanted to let y'all know it's happening. The next thing that we're talking about, if you've been watching this podcast for a while, you've probably heard me say before that on Spotify alone, there are 60,000 songs uploaded daily. We have some new numbers from Sir Lucian Grange, and if you don't know who that is, that's the CEO of UMG, or Universal Music Group, and he has confirmed that daily, we were at 60,000. We are now at 100,000 new songs being released every single day. To put that into perspective, the biggest record store back when record stores were the primary mode of consumption for music, they would stock 100,000 titles at most in the facility. That type of volume, that amount of music is coming out on a daily basis now. That's insane. That is insane. It's crazy, and I think the craziest part of it is that it's estimated that around 20% of the songs in Spotify's library have never been streamed even one time. And the reason I'm talking about this is just to put into perspective how much you are really competing with, because the market is so oversaturated with the amount of independent artists that we have and just the music that's coming out. So I want to put into perspective how much work you have to do to fight your way to the top. There are ways to get it done. It's not impossible, but I do want there to be a general understanding of just truly how much you are competing with and just the sheer volume of music and art that is coming out on a daily basis. I don't even have $100,000. I don't think most of us have $100,000. 100,000 songs every single day. Moving on. I harp on stuff, if you couldn't tell. Another update with Spotify, they have added a landing page that brings together its many direct-to-fan sales tools and resources, from things like sell your merch on Spotify and build your fandom. That is what the site itself reads. And essentially, they're looking to build your business by selling tickets and or selling things directly to your fans as they stream your music. This is awesome. If you have not taken advantage of the resources that Spotify for Artists has out freely, go and do that. Go on the Spotify website. Go to the Spotify for Artists page and look at the plethora of programs that they have out. I've talked about them before on the podcast, but it's one of those things where it's just free information from Spotify, which it has the largest market share when it comes to streaming, which is the way that we listen to music. It's a lot of power. It's a great resource. So if you haven't already, as a musician, as an independent artist, take the time to really scour the Spotify for Artists page and what they have going on. This is just a new update with it. So I hope that prompts you to just do that work and take the time to go and look at it. We have two more stories within this section, which I didn't even mention. This is the My Like section. I'm just talking about stuff that I want to talk about that I saw this week before we get into the more like specific categories and topics. But two more stories in this before we move forward. First thing is a guide to music industry networking. This article was published with the idea of the reader being a professional and more on the conference side of things, networking events, But I think that this is super important for anyone in music, especially musicians, as you guys are doing your local circuits and you're continuing to move up the ladder and just meet people on your own. So I just wanted to go through it because I think that it had some great points and things that I wanted to touch on. So first of all, dress to impress and brand yourself. Every time as an independent artist, as a musician, as someone in your city who is doing things, you want people to see you the way that you want to be seen. If your brand, like as a female artist, and I totally lack on this because I look different every time people see me, that's just how I am, but that's kind of a part of my brand, is the fact that I wear whatever I want. I like to be comfortable. Sometimes I like to look like a vixen, whatever the situation is. Anyways, moving past that, anytime that you go out, you just want to communicate your image, your brand to people. So as I was saying, if you were like an R&B artist who, you're looking for like that kind of like luxurious vibe, you want to dress like that. If you're going for more of a gritty, like New York skater, like hype beast thing, that's how people should see you. That's how you should step out. Or if you want to go, if you're a professional and you want to make sure that you're looking professional, make sure that you're wearing business casual, or make sure that you are, putting on clothes that make you feel good and also communicate not necessarily your value, but maybe how you value yourself. Where do you see yourself? And just make a point of doing that as you venture out into the world. The next thing is to not be afraid. Approach strangers. This is the biggest thing when it comes to networking. You just have to get over yourself, and you have to move forward and just get over yourself and go and talk to people. It's daunting at first, especially, when you don't know who these people are, or maybe if you do, if you know who they are, and it's a little nerve-wracking to go up and initiate that conversation for the first time. But the truth is that if you don't do it, if you don't go up and randomly talk to people, you're never going to be able to have the vast network that you really need to move forward. And also just remembering that, like, the worst thing that can happen is someone to say, I'm actually busy right now, I can't really talk, or just kind of dismiss you, which it sucks in the moment, and it definitely happens. But the moment comes and it goes in a matter of like 5 seconds, and you move on to the next person. Piece of advice, I always go up to groups. Sometimes I'll catch a loner and I'll be like, hey, you're alone, I'm alone, let's talk. And usually it's as simple as that, and then you're going into having a conversation with someone. But if you want to cover a lot of ground, go up to a group of people. You might have to interrupt a conversation. I've done it several times. But go up to a group of people and just cover ground. And a lot of the times, also bringing a buddy with you when you're going to networking events is extremely helpful, giving you a little bit of something to rely on and help you feel not as awkward in those moments where you are just kind of sitting there and waiting for the next thing. But yeah. In short, get over yourself, talk to people. Moving on. Be their friend, not their salesperson. This is super important. It's really important not to make people feel like they're having transactional experiences with you. Things will get there when it comes to like the business side of things and making your relationships monetarily valuable and XYZ. But in that initial relationship building stage, making them feel like that's the only reason that you're talking to them is not, we're all people, and you want to treat people as that before anything else. And it's also, especially when we talk about like the relationships that we have with our business partners and just, you know, our network and things like that. You want to get along with these people. You want to know who they are. You want to enjoy their presence. And that is where you start when you're building those relationships, is on that personal side, and them just being a friend, them just being a person who happens to work in a similar or the same industry as you. And then eventually you'll be able to do work and figure out what the best working relationship is. But making sure, just once again, that you're treating them as a person before anything else is going to get you so much further in terms of where that relationship is and what it's going to look like 6 months, a year, 5 years down the line. Cool. Next thing is to focus on that person, to give them your full attention. That's really important. Just being present with people and giving them experiences where they walk away and they say, I really enjoyed talking to that person. I want to see them again. I would like to work with them because of the energy that they bring and the way that they made me feel around them. Super, super, super important. The next thing is to call them by their first name repeatedly. This is something that I have to remind myself of, because when you're in those highly populated situations where you're talking to so many people, it does get easy to get wrapped up, forget people's names. So when you're having conversations and someone introduces themselves to you, like for instance, you and I are talking right now. Hi, my name is Ari. Your response should be, hi, Ari. It's so nice to meet you. And as we continue along in that process, instead of saying, you know, if there's a specific question, you know, say their name, and it's to cement it into your brain. It's gonna, you know, communicate to them that you remember, but it's really a personal thing of like cementing it in your mind and connecting the name and the face. Cool. Next thing, don't immediately brush someone off. This is really just all about valuing every conversation that you have and every person in these spheres, and not putting kind of a hierarchy on what you may think, because you never know who is in the room, you never know the power that they have, and you never know who you're going to need down the line. So just treating everyone with the same respect, the same kindness, giving them the same time, that is really what this is about. Moving forward, knowing when to pursue. Sometimes there are times where you need to back off, sometimes it's the moment to jump for the gun. And that is really, to me, that's just kind of about like reading situations, people watching, and being cognizant of you know, interpersonal things, body language, things along those lines. And that is a skill that you kind of develop over time, which when we go back, don't be afraid, just do it, have the experiences, you'll learn as you go. The next thing is knowing your boundaries, being bold but courteous. This is just don't be obnoxious with people. It's pretty simple. Be kind, be polite, you know, have fun. You can be yourself. That's not what it's about. But just, I think most of us have a general idea of when we're being obnoxious or when we're being rude and blah, blah, blah. Just be cognizant of that and watch yourself. The next thing that we have is befriend people on your level. Don't put all your energy into stalking established hotshots. This is super important. I feel like a lot of us, and this just goes back to like treating everyone the same exact way and holding everyone with the same value. A lot of times I've seen it happen in conference spaces where, you know, folks who they know exactly who they want to talk to. They've done the research, and that's who they're gunning for, and that is like the whole reason that they're at these events. And I have just found that half the time they don't even get to talk to those people, and then they get frustrated with it, instead of reveling in the fact that there are just so many people who are either, you know, just in different places in their journey or in a similar place that you have the opportunity to build with and grow with. And those are the relationships, honestly, that really create amazing work in that, and where people are able to make differences and do really fulfilling stuff. And of course you can do that with relationships in any capacity, but growing with someone is a lot different than having a mentorship type relationship. And that's just that. Don't discredit those growing together type situations. The last thing is mastering the art of the follow-up. This is absolutely crucial. You can meet 100 people. If you don't follow up with them, you will never hear from them again, or they'll never hear from you again. And the opportunity for whatever could have been that could have came out of those relationships are going to sit dormant. And it's just, you have to learn how to communicate with people and check up on them, follow up with them, and nurture the relationship that you're trying to build. Because that first contact is the easiest part. You make the contact, you figure out how that person is, or who that person is. But from there, in order for anything to get done, you have to be consistent. It's a two-way street, absolutely. But being, a person that's on top of those things is always super, super important. All right. The final thing I'm not going to talk too much about. I just wanted to throw it in here, provide you guys with the link. There is a pretty cool Web3 tax guide that I think can be beneficial. So go ahead and take a look at that, either if you're already integrated into Web3 or if it's something that you want to do more research on. Like I said, I'm not really going to talk about it. I'm going to move past it, but the link will be in the description of, this document that you guys will have access to. Next thing that we're talking about is industry updates. We have a couple of position changes and different things, so we're going to brush past this pretty quickly. Karen Dawn is exiting Universal Music Australia after more than 2 decades with the company. Based in Sydney, Dawn is currently serving as Senior VP of Legal and Business Affairs for the Universal labels and publishing companies in Austria and New Zealand. We have Craig Mannix, aka Big C, is now acquired the position of Vice President of Black Music at Universal Music Group. This position is vital to the whole industry itself, with Black music hitting many milestones, such as hip-hop becoming the #1 listened to genre. Genres as R&B, jazz, reggae, dancehall, Afrobeats, and countless others are more ubiquitous now than ever. This means that Big C is taking on quite the role. He absolutely is, and I'm super excited to see what he does in that role. And just exactly like they said, Black music is American music and is so integral to our industry. So the responsibility and the power that he has is really important. Moving forward, Chris Schuler has left his position as Vice President of Promotion at Arista Nashville. Music Row now has confirmed. Universal Music Group, Sony Music Entertainment, and Warner Music Group are asking TikTok to share the advertising revenue and increase the royalties it pays them for rights. According to the people familiar with these talks, the companies have been negotiating all year and trying to reach a deal before their contracts expire in the coming months, said the people who asked not to be identified because the talks are private. I think that this was going to happen. ByteDance and TikTok, went into agreements with these large labels in order to garner licenses to allow them to, that the reason that you're able to use these copyrighted works. And it was not necessarily early on in TikTok's kind of blown proportion, but I mean, the growth that the app has seen has just been exponential, continuously. So, and that is why they're just kind of gunning for, you guys are making so much money, and we had a deal, but obviously they need to amend it, and that's kind of the process that they're in, is just kind of figuring out what relationship TikTok is going to have with these catalogs, and what the exchange is going to be, tailoring that just as things progress with the #1 social media app. Moving forward, Tencent Music Entertainment Group, the leading online music and audio entertainment platform in China, published a Golden Melodies research report today, developed by the TME Research Institute. It is the first report in the music industry to comprehensively describe the criteria and creation patterns of golden melodies. The report conducted research on how golden melodies from the past 5 years through 6 chapters. The chapters include definitions of golden melodies, playlists, trends, values, creation, and consensus of this particular musical hits. Based on data analysis and professional interviews, the report captures the musical trends behind the changes in golden melodies and analyzes industrial experiences and challenges, which provide in-depth and valuable observations to promote the sustainable development of the industry. So this is something definitely to look into if you're on the business side of things, and also producers. I would definitely look into this as well. Producers and engineers. Moving forward, almost half of UK musicians are currently highly concerned that they will be forced to leave the music industry as the cost of living crisis continues to impact them. According to a new survey conducted by Help Musicians, the music charity reports that according to that 49% of the 500 professional musicians surveyed said that they were very or extremely concerned that they would have to leave their music careers behind. A further 35% were concerned that they would have to leave their that they were slightly or somewhat concerned, and this is a dramatic increase from a similar study done about a year ago, which found that 22% of musicians in the UK were considering leaving the music industry. Let's be cognizant of the fact that we're not talking about bigwig superstars. We are talking about middle-class musicians who make their money gigging, who make their money in sync, who just support themselves. They're not superstars. That is the market and the demographic of musicians that we're talking about. And it's just unfortunate to see this. I am hopeful that the UK can recognize this and hopefully make some changes wherever they need to. Obviously, I can't talk too much about life there because I don't live there. But it's just sad to see, you know, the largest amount of artists, those people who make money gigging and just support themselves with their music, is struggling in the capacity that they are. And, you know, I'm hopeful that something turns around, that there can either be, you know, some type of mutual aid or some change made. But yeah, we will see how this progresses in the next couple of months. The China-based music streaming giant, which operates music services QQ Music, Kugo, and Kuwo, generated a total revenue of $7.37 billion in Q3 of this year, representing a 5.6 year-over-year increase. And I believe that we're talking about Tencent, but let me just, yep, we are talking about Tencent. So yeah, just Tencent is like they say, the biggest streaming giant in China. And they're just continuing to grow and be powerful and cool. So next up, according to a report published, music charity Help Musicians, 91% of artists face this crisis. What is going on? Okay, I see what's going on. We're going to scrap that. We're not talking about that anymore. That is the end of the industry update section. We are going to move on and talk about some artist accomplishments. Primarily, we're going to talk about the EMAs, and we're going to go through it really quickly. First up, Drake and 21 Savage's joint album Her Loss has debuted at #1, racking up the biggest first week numbers for a hip-hop album in 2022. Very cool stuff. I did finally get to listen to it, and it's cool. It's cool. I like it. I like the first song a lot. I know there's like some controversy around it with certain things with Megan Thee Stallion and la da 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 da. I try not to like talk too much about like controversy type stuff on here. So I'm not really going to get into it. But overall, it's not a bad album. It's Drake. It's going to do well. And kudos to him for debuting at #1 with 21. The next thing we have, Post Malone and Sway Lee break the record for the highest certified single in the RIAA history. If you don't know what the RIAA is, that's the people who decide what is platinum, gold, and give those plaques out. But with their song Sunflower, it has now been streamed over 2.4 billion times. That's crazy. Next up, and this is the last thing that we're going to talk about before we get into just who won at the EMAs. Silk Sonic tallies another #1 single at R&B radio with After Last Night, featuring Bootsy Collins and Thundercat. They have just consistently been killing it, and I don't think that the Silk Sonic train is going to stop anytime soon. Let's get into the EMAs. Anything that I say in this section is all my opinion. Yeah. Let's talk about the EMAs. The winner for Best Song is Nicki Minaj with Super Freaky Girl. Bad Bunny. What? What? Bad Bunny. I have no idea where that came from. Anyway, the winner for Best Song was Nicki Minaj, Super Freaky Girl. The Best Video winner was Taylor Swift with All Too Well. It's a 10-minute long version, 10-minute long. I don't agree with the winner of this. I feel like this was not a creative video, and there's just been really cool shit that's come out in 2022, and I just don't think that this is very cool. I'm also kind of a Taylor Swift hater. She's been around a long time. I can't knock her hustle, can't knock her talent, but it's just not for me. And I feel like this was not a creative video. She was just fucking singing into a camera, and there's like words, and it's like vintage and shit, and like it looks cool, but it's just, it was boring. It was boring, and I don't understand why it won 2 fucking awards. Cause sorry, I'm like getting mad, but I don't understand because people are doing really cool shit, and you're telling me that a video of someone, a black and white video of someone in the studio with like some overlay text and filters and like random graphics is what, yeah. I'm going to move on because I'm just going to continue to get annoyed. She also won the Best Artist Award. Good for her. Cool. I sound like so irritated. I don't mean to. I don't like hate her that much. I don't hate her like truly as a person. I'm just not a fan. And I think what it is that it frustrates me to see like just mediocrity be praised. Swifties, they're gonna kill me. The Swifties are gonna kill me. This is how I felt when I was talking about Barb's on one episode. Moving on. The best collaboration winner was David Guetta and BB Reha with I'm Good in parentheses blue. The best live winner was Harry Styles. He has been killing it on his tours. I'm sure you've seen there's been a lot of viral moments. We have another Taylor Swift win. She won for best pop. The best new winner was 17. The best K-pop winner was Lisa. The best Latin winner was Anita. The best electronic winner was David Guetta. Best hip-hop winner, Nicki Minaj. I hope that she cherishes that win because she goes crazy when it comes to recognition. I feel like she deserves it. I feel like there's also young people, new artists who deserve it. And that was really kind of the vibe that the EMAs gave me this year, was like, it felt like an award show that should have happened like 3 years with the people who won. And I just wish that they recognized some newer talent. That, to me, that's what I took away from the EMAs, but I'm just going to continue getting through it. Best rock winner was Muse. The best alternative winner was the Gorillaz. Best R&B winner was Chloe. The best long-form video was once again All Too Well from Taylor Swift, this 10-minute version, Taylor's version. Then we have the video for good winner, which was Sam Smith and Kim Petras' Unholy. Just to touch on it, this was a great video, and this is what I'm talking about when like just the discrepancy of creativity and thought that goes into it. That video, Unholy, was a production. There was choreography. There was thought into it. There was a plot. It was there. It was creative. It was beautiful. So I believe that this was a righteous win. Then we have the biggest fans winner, BTS. Absolutely, rightfully so. I feel like that that makes sense. I don't think there was another option that would have made more sense than BTS having the biggest fans. The best push winner was 17. And then finally, the best metaverse performance was Blackpink, the virtual PUBG. Yeah, very cool stuff. That's who won the EMAs. Now you don't have to watch it. Moving on, we have a couple of deals, partnerships, and acquisitions. And then after that, in total, we have about like 6 or 7 more stories. So we're going to wrap this up. But first off, we have the music streaming giant Spotify's A1 playlist joins forces with Homai, I believe, the Melbourne-based streetwear label and non-for-profit, for a merch campaign that raises funds for good causes and throws the mic to emerging Melbourne rappers like Babyface Mal and Mulalo. We have Universal Music Enterprises, the global catalog division of UMG, today announced the launch of You Discover Musica, a Spanish language destination for music fans of all ages to discover rising artists and explore stories from the greatest music catalogs in the world. The new site builds upon the success of You Discover Music, UMG's consumer-facing music discovery, editorial, and e-commerce platform. Next, we have BMG has struck a deal to acquire Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter Harry Nilsson's song rights, included in the deal are Nilsson's publishing catalog as well as artist and writer revenue from streams of his hit songs. Finally, Primary Wave has acquired the copyrights to hit Whitney Houston songs as a part of a deal for about 60 songs written by songwriters Shannon Rubicam and George Merrill of the American pop music duo Boy Meets Girl. Yahoo! We have 2 final stories, and these are in the legal realm of things. We are talking firstly about Megan Thee Stallion. She filed a couple legal documents to get a restraining order against her label, which is 1501 Certified Entertainment, along with her distributor 300 Entertainment. According to these documents obtained by TMZ Hip Hop, Megan claims 1501 made a threatening and retaliatory moves to block Megan from using her own music in connection with the EMAs, which will be handed out this coming Sunday. This is crazy. You know, she has been going through a couple of legal things with her label, and it really has to do. She thinks she should be a free agent. Independent is really what it is. She believes that she is rightfully independent due to, you know, what her fulfillment of her contract in terms of the works that she's had to produce for them. She believes that she's done. Her label doesn't think so. So they've been, you know, in a back and forth about that has still clearly not been resolved. So we'll see as this goes, and this is just really interesting to see so publicly, you know, a battle like this and a situation like this, and you know, it's just going to be interesting to continue to see play out. I think that Megan is phenomenal, and I'm just very excited to continue to see where her career goes, and I just hope that she is able to, you know, go through this situation in a conducive way and come out the other side, hopefully not blacklisted and hopefully not burned by these people. Moving forward, we have the very last story of today. The Justice Department has opened an antitrust investigation into the owner of Ticketmaster, whose sale of Taylor Swift concert tickets descended into chaos this week. And 2 people with knowledge of descended into chaos this week. The investigation is focused on whether Live Nation Entertainment has abused its power over the multi-billion-dollar live music industry. That power has been in the spotlight after Ticketmaster's systems crashed while Miss Swift's fans were trying to buy tickets in a pre-sale for her tour, but the investigation predates the botched sale, the people say. This is interesting. This is just another one of those things. It's good to be on the radar, but we don't know like the facts and the answers yet. So it's something that we have to keep up to date on. But this is very interesting, and I'm excited to just see how it goes. That is the episode, y'all. That is today. If you would like to submit music for next week to be reviewed, go ahead and send me an email at ari@darendefy.net or send me a DM on Instagram, whatever way that you need to get in contact with me. Go ahead and give it over, and we'll fit you into an episode. If you have any specific news stories or topics that have to do with the music industry that you want me to talk about next week, same thing. Send me an email, send me a DM, and we will talk about it. Huge, tremendous, ginormous, amazing thank you to Innerspace Orlando for sponsoring the production of this podcast, being the reason why we're here today, doing the amazing work to have this space and the setup. They are amazing. If you don't know, Innerspace is a full-service AV production studio in Altamont Springs where you can record your music, you can record music videos, you can host events here, you can do photo shoots. The possibilities are endless. So definitely come and check them out, especially if you're in the Orlando area. Come and book a free tour with them. Meet PJ and Danny, amazing people. And yeah, show love, show support. If you are interested in any type of work, whether that be sponsoring the podcast, building a relationship with us, definitely same thing. Send me an email, send me a DM. And we will see you next week, man. It's been a cool episode. It's been relatively short. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Actually, just to reiterate, some cool stuff coming up this month. Next week, we have here at Innerspace Orlando a Thanksgiving music industry networking event. Is going to be very pre-gamey, very relaxed and chill vibes before another phenomenal Friday where it's going to be very Friendsgiving oriented, if that's the vibe you're going for. Or if you like Latin music, you like good Latin food, I'm going to be over at Katrina's Mexican Fusion helping out with the Party on the Patio event. Some great live music, great DJs, great food, drinks, all that good stuff. And then on the 30th of this month is the Fusion Awards, which we're going to talk about heavily when the time comes on the podcast and who won and what happened and all of that beautifulness. But I will be there experiencing the night, but I will also be doing some background work for one of the performers, so you'll be able to see me. So definitely pull up, pop out, and yeah, man, it's gonna be great. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you next week.
Slide through, baby. What do I do? Fine, got you. Look.